Hello guys, and welcome again to Watch Reviews by Hurley. Today I'm going to be reviewing a watch from Long Island Watches called the ISL-61. Since this is my first time reviewing Islander watches, here's a bit of history. Islander Watches is the house brand of a company called Long Island Watch out of New York, founded in 2019 by a gentleman named Mark Frankel, who also happens to have a big presence on YouTube for some years now, as many of you probably know and have seen his videos. Mark was actually one of the guys who inspired me to start this YouTube channel, as I've learned a lot from him over the last 5 years watching his YouTube channel and among many others. He's such a real positive guy, and I've always found his videos to have informative and interesting content. His YouTube channel is simply Long Island Watch, so check him out. I'm assuming a lot of you know who he is. I do hope to get to personally meet Mark one day if I happen to be in New York, or maybe one of the trade shows he attends. I'm going to be trying to attend more trade shows to network and get more sponsors so I can bring you guys a variety of watches. These dive trips are costly, so it's great to get watch companies that can sponsor me and my brother, as I simply couldn't afford to buy every watch I review. That would be impossible. For transparency, Mark did provide this ISL-61 for me to see, trial, and review, so I don't need to ship it back. So thank you, Mark, for that. Much appreciated. So Islander has a style of watch in nearly every genre, whether it be dive, pilot, field, dress, or an everyday watch. They have quite a selection at their website. And they are more affordably priced than comparable to some of the big brand watches. Islander also gives you the upgrades that have become the hallmark of quality watches, such as sapphire crystals, ceramic inserts, automatic movements, and screw-down crowns. You don't need to spend a fortune to get a quality timepiece that you're going to actually wear. They also offer the Ameriquartz watches in various styles, dive, field, and chronograph watches that are assembled in the USA, which seems to be the trend with the micro brand these days, and I think is a really good thing to see, because you have better control over the quality and the end product. And I've personally found that this to be true with the micro brands I've reviewed on this channel. On the Islander ISL-61 I'm showing you here today, it's got a black rubber strap because I had taken this diving. I will show you the stainless steel bracelet a little bit later. And in the future, I'll be reviewing the ISL-94 orange dial diver from Long Island Watches, not too far off in the future, as soon as I can get to it. Okay, let's get into it. Again, this is the Islander ISL-61 model, an in-house brand from Long Island Watches. Case size is a nice 43 millimeter, which I really like, and that's partly because I have an 8 1/4 inch wrist, but so usually I like a 42 mil minimum on my wrist, but this is a great size. Thickness is 14 millimeter, nice robust crown, push-pull crown with the proper machining. That's easy to turn. The crown guards are quite interesting in that they protect the crown about 90%, as you can see here. They come up pretty far, maybe about 80%. It has a sloping design that comes off the bezel along with the crown itself. So I found that design very unique and kind of cool, a little bit different. Case material is stainless steel. Case back, you have a screw down solid stainless steel case back with the words Islander. Let me see if I can get it focused. Right there, you see Islander. Then 200 meter water resistance with a stamp sapphire, letting you know it's a sapphire lens. And again, another Islander logo. A pretty cool lighthouse design embossed in there with the Long Island watch logo, which is a clock with a little arrow. You see that on all their watches right there on the front there too, below the 12 o'clock. On the side of the case, you have drilled lugs, which is great. When you go to replace your rubber strap or a stainless steel bracelet, makes it a heck of a lot easier. The dial color is it's an off-white color that's fully luminous and is Superluminova C3 coated for maximum glow in the dark experience when the lights go down. Let me just flash a light on here real quick and show you how this thing lights up. And I'm going to show you a lume shot a little bit later, but nice fully lumed dial with the markers on the bezel all lumed as well. I did find that the lume was quite bright and long lasting. With the black hand hour markers and the black handset and the sweep second as well, it's really readable with that dial color. Easy to read at depth as well, which I love in a diver. And the fact that they have everything marked with the minute marks and 10-minute segments as well. So 120 click bezel on this. You can listen to it. It's pretty quiet. You need a firm grip to move it, which is good in a diver. You don't want it disturbed. Nice thing is it lines up perfectly all around. Every hour marker is spot on. So those matte black minute and hour hands, when paired with the solid black hour markers, make this watch very readable. For a diver, this is very important as a backup to your dive computer. And I always say this, is that a watch is simply that, a backup to your dive computer, but a nice backup to have. Again, nicely full lume dial. Lumed markers on the bezel, which has minute markers, and the 20-minute segments that I mentioned. Those are all marked and lumed. Nicely lumed 12 o'clock pip to set for your 20-minute or 30-minute dive time reminder. You can use this watch as a dive watch, sport watch, or dress watch if you throw on a stainless steel bracelet. Let's talk about this stainless steel bracelet real quick. Oyster type bracelet, solid end links, dial, dual push button, flip lock deployment class with 3-position micro adjustment, stainless steel, and clips into place nice and firmly, doesn't pop up. Sometimes you'll find the cheaper bracelets, this little locking mechanism will pop up a bit. So for sizing, this bracelet, you'll find the screws are used for removing bracelet links, as you can see, instead of pins, which is what I prefer, and much easier than those pin and collar systems. Finish on this is a grade A brush finish. Articulates real nice. Does have polished edges. No excessive side movement, which means it's a better quality because of tighter tolerances. Good size 22 millimeter at the case, tapering to 19 millimeters at the clasp. Again, good performance on that flip lock when you close it into position. Okay, let's take a look at a time lume shot right now. I think you're going to agree that it's a pretty cool full lume. Let's take a look at that. Okay, I think you'll agree that that lume was pretty cool. Full lume dial with the lumed bezel along with the black markers. The only slightly negative I have on this bezel is that its highly polished surface makes it a bit tougher to grab. You really have to grab it hard to get it to move. I mean, it's the clicks sound great on it, but just a little bit tough to grip. Especially if your hands are wet. If you're not taking this in the water, it doesn't really matter. The movement is an NH36 24 joule automatic movement with 21,600 vibrations per hour. Self-winding movement, supports hand winding and hacks. So if you pull this out, the second stops if you want to change the time and so forth, and then push it back in and the second starts again. Power reserve is 41 hours when fully wound. NH36 also has both a day and date wheel viewed at the 3 o'clock position. So you have the day, date, all in that same window. And again, for $299, a nice movement is provided here. Water resistance is, as you see on the dial, 200 meters. And the fact that it's an automatic is just above that 200 M. You have the Long Island watch logo just below the 12 o'clock position, which is a simple looking clock with an arrow. That's also on the case back right there. And you'll see that on all the Islander watches. Black minute mark on the dial, perfectly spaced and positioned just outside the hour markers. So really good quality there. And those round, solid black hour markers are positioned perfectly and line up as well. As you can see, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, and 12 o'clock. So that off-white fully lumed dial with all the blacked out markers just gives it a really cool look. That again is super legible. Again, the bezel has a 120 click black ceramic insert that lines up perfectly, which is something I always look for in a diver or any watch. And this does perform pretty well. Lug width is 22 millimeter, which I personally prefer over 20 millimeter, especially because I have an 8 1/4 inch wrist. So it does wear quite nicely. As you can see, has a good presence on the wrist. Lug to lug is 46 millimeters. Case finishing, you have a brushed finish on top, as you can see there. And the side of the case has a nice high polish. Very good finishing all around. So I can comfortably say that this is a grade A finishing with an affordable price of $299, which is a good value when you wrap all the specs together, which include a luminous full lume dial, scratch resistant sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating, screw down crown, ceramic bezel, NH36 automatic movement with day and date window. Altogether, a nicely spec'd out watch for, again, $299 is pretty darn good. And it did perform very well, 60 to 120 feet scuba diving in and around Fiji waters. No humidity, no leaks. Warranty, Long Island Watches provides a 1-year warranty, which is a pretty standard. I will tell you that I had been communicating with Mark over at Long Island Watches long before I asked to sea trial his watches, as this is a pretty new endeavor for me and my brother that we've pursued over the last probably 8 months. And we felt that the content of combining dive film with the watch on the wrist to evaluate and test was missing in the YouTube world. And I've purchased a few of his watches. And when I sent messages to Mark, he was always very responsive and polite, and is just a really nice guy to do business with. He's really, I think, taken his company to new heights, and I foresee a great future with this company. I'm not just saying that all because, you know, he sponsored a couple watches. I do mean that wholeheartedly. Overall, this watch performed really well at depth. No humidity, no leaks. The fully icy green lume. Let me just light that up again to show you how that looks. Pretty cool. And just performed really well at depth. So great watch for the water, scuba diving, swimming, or snorkeling. This watch functioned really well as designed. Obviously, you can get the stainless steel bracelet options through Long Island Watches. Good bracelets they offer. They have a lot of strap options at their website, longislandwatch.com. They do carry some of the name brands we're all familiar with. I'm not going to name them. You can just check them out at their website, as well as their in-house Islander brand. So definitely take a look at them. They have promotions from time to time, and I find their prices to be very competitive. And Mark puts out a lot of very informative videos on YouTube. I find his and Urban Gentry's combined podcast pretty funny. I don't know, for some reason those two guys get together, they seem to have a really good time, which is great for, you know, all of us as watch enthusiasts to have a good time watching podcasts and learning about watches and what's out there. I will also be reviewing another Islander watch that has an orange dial and stainless steel bezel called the Islander ISL-94, which has the familiar look of an iconic dive watch, which has been discontinued. The Islander version mimics the original, but has an all solid link bracelet that uses screws for sizing, just like this one, instead of the fussy pin and collar system. So look out for that review in the near future. As a matter of fact, I have a lot more reviews coming out, but these reviews do take a bit of work, as probably the only one that includes actual dive film and sea trials. So it takes a little bit more work than just sitting here at a desk and talking about the specs. So I like to bring something that's a little interesting for you guys to watch. But I am working on those reviews, and just check back from time to time as I update probably every 2 to 3 weeks with new watch reviews. And I guess that wraps it up for today. Thanks for joining me and taking a look at the ISL-61 from Long Island Watches. If you like the review and dive film, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Until next time, have a good one and take care.